Hey, welcome back. Good to see you here. I've got this new jacket I wanted to show off. It says Mr. Banjo over here. It says Willard over here. I've usurped Willard. I am now Mr. Banjo. I don't want to mess this up, so I'll put on some more appropriate stage wear. As you know, I come here every Tuesday. Although this may be, I'm thinking about taking a little break after this show. I have some new songs to work on and some recordings to work on, but I'm here today for two sets. One at 7 o'clock, Greenwich Mean Time, which is now, and I'll be back again at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So tell your friends, meet Mr. Banjo right here. Let me make sure everything's wired. Okay. Get yourself a cup of cheer. Pull up a seat. Get my banjo on. And we'll get started. Just like a lion chain, gonna climb down and haunt you in your sleep. Just like any decent funeral, gonna pour out in the street. If it gets too cold this wintertime, we're gonna flood the place next spring. You can bet it was a sure thing. Just like that son of a bitch gonna wind up in the White House every time. And the silver's there just to keep your mind off the copper in your dime. And the war between the states was just a bell that they had to ring. You can bet it was a sure thing. Taking up a serpent again, and I'm speaking in tongues unknown to men. Well, I thought the cracks through that heart, it was finally on the mend, but I'm taking up serpents again. Oh yes, I'm excuse me, taking up a serpent again. All right. Just like the horses trapped in the salt mine when the company sealed the place. And after they serve the coffee, well, there's a stain running through the lace. And after flying through that fire, there ain't a feather left in that wing. You can bet it was a sure thing. Deodorate, deodorate, and I'm taking up a serpent again, and I'm speaking in tongues unknown to men. Well, I thought that was was a letter that I would never have to send. But I'm taking up serpents again. Just like the old days, I'm taking up serpents again. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna kind of stick with mostly hit songs, favorites, the people have been asking me for a lot. Because like I said, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of break from the weekly live stream after this. Start 2021 out with some new material. You can find me on my Patreon page if you want to get the latest. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time there. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Okay, I'll do something rockin' now. People ask for this one a lot. This is a practical field manual for performing battlefield surgery. I know this is gonna be an important skill in the coming weeks and months. Let me make sure I'm in tune. Yeah, if you're playing banjo, it's always best to check to make sure you're in tune because, you know, a lot of times you're not. Take it from me, Mr. Banjo. You can call me Willard. All right, this is called Battlefield Amputation. It's in key of E, and it's really hard to play without the band. So if you're at home and you're playing along, ask the band to join you. It'll be a lot easier. Lace up your dancing shoes, little darling. I got bad news, Charles Darwin cutting me a little slack, prohibition's back. Listen, brother, this ain't my heart attack. I'm not gonna get pushed around by this gospel choir with their sweet sound. Just another black heart bleeding in the street. The brains, they've been hiding in the meat, oh yeah. Won't you grant me a stay of this execution? Pull the plug on my electrocution. We need a worried man, someone to sing this song, but I'm not gonna be worried long. Well, tell me someone gonna help me, please. Everybody's crazy with the same disease. We just need a little pressure release. Step back and hold my jacket and my car keys. Yeah, yeah. Salvation, yeah. Salvation, yeah. Salvation, last chance. Salvation, battlefield amputation. I need something to relieve my pain. A J. Edgar Hoover and a pink champagne. Jefferson Davis and that party dress. Party dress. Going down to Mexico. Hell yes, well, there must be something wrong with my money. Sweet Jesus, let me taste that honey. I was born in Detroit in 1968. The city fell apart, but I feel great. Damn. Yeah. Salvation, yeah. Salvation, yeah. Salvation. salvation. Spare me this aggravation. Give me Roosevelt's voice on the radio station. Well, I'm turning my back on this ungrateful nation. Well, it's a last chance salvation, a battlefield amputation. Salvation, yeah, yeah, yeah. A salvation, last chance. A salvation, a battlefield amputation. All right, I've never quite figured out exactly how to do that song by myself. It always seems like I need more people or something. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know if it seems incomplete, and I'll just cut it from the list, you know? I don't have to do these songs. I got a million of them. I got a million of them. Because I'm Mr. Banjo. Call me Willard. Go on. In the comments, right down there, call me Willard. Or Mr. Banjo. All right. I reckon I should do something... a little bit less shouty. I like rock and roll music. I like rock and roll music a lot. One of my favorite rock and roll singers is a guy named Elvis Presley. He's no longer with us, I'm afraid, no matter what you may have heard. Kind of wish he was, though. Kind of wish we had. 3 more minutes with Elvis. That's all that we need. Handed down through the seasons, like an heirloom seed. Well, I don't think I'm asking for a miracle, and I hope you don't take this as greed. 3 more minutes with Elvis. Ain't that just what we need? 'Cause there's bad ink in the money, and like a child that was born in the war, like a girl that never had sugar, a nation grown dark at the core. Well, don't I give her all my money? Ain't my love as true as before? 3 more minutes, that's all I'm asking. I won't ask for no more. 3 more minutes with Elvis. Ain't that the least you can do? Just give me a decent sequence. Just one more song that rings true. Oh, 3 more minutes with Elvis Presley. Ain't that the least you can do? take all my records down to the Salvation Army. Let the radio stations all burn. Maybe I'm stupid, it's the same old question. How come I never learn? Well, it seems like we must be owed something, and I don't know where else to turn. I'm through asking for favors. Oh, I think this is something we've earned. 3 more minutes with Elvis. Ain't that the least you can do? Just give me one decent sequence. Just one more song that rings true. Oh, 3 more minutes with Elvis Presley. Ain't that the least you can do? Ain't that the least you can do? Hey, I came really close to getting all those chords right. This pandemic thing has got me doing all these songs I haven't done in a while, and I'll be honest with you, I don't always practice before I do these things. I just kind of set up the microphone and set up the camera and get the banjo out and, you know, just go. Sometimes I get distracted by green satin jackets that say Mr. Banjo on them. I can't stop thinking about it. It's the weirdest thing I ever got in the mail. If you're watching from Durham or anything like that, you might remember a fellow by the name of Jason Kuchma. Sort of a gruff character, wore spurs all the time. Singer. He found that in a thrift shop and he mailed it to me. He said, just wanted you to know somebody was thinking of you. So, and Willard, if you're out there, it's all over for you. You're not Mr. Banjo anymore. I'm Mr. Banjo now. I'm Willard now. How's it feel, motherfucker? All right. Let's see. I used to live in a town called Ypsilanti, Michigan. Sort of, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes outside of Detroit, right next to Ann Arbor, Michigan. And it was kind of a, I don't know, it wasn't the greatest town when I lived there in the 80s. Kind of depressed, you know, like most of America was in the 80s. And I noticed there were like weird things like doorknob repair jobs for where the doorknobs used to be lower, and stairs in front of sinks and stuff like that in the houses I'd rent. And so I looked it up, and the story seems to be that during World War II, the Ford automobile plant there in Ypsilanti, Michigan was converted into a airplane engine manufacturing factory. And they had, it was like a rotary, you know, like the engines were like a cylinder. And just to speed up production, they needed smaller people to climb inside and tighten everything up. So they put out a call to, you know, people with manual labor skills who were short or small in stature. So apparently, during World War II, there were a lot of little people in Ypsilanti, Michigan, working on airplane engines. And that just kind of kept me up at night, wondering what it must have been like. So anyway, this is a song about getting the hell out of Ypsilanti, Michigan. Charlie, shake my hand. I'm taking off on a promised land. Look here, man, I got my hat on my head. My feet and my shoes are heavy as lead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, oh well. Oh, Virginia, you gotta get me out of here. Yeah, Virginia, well, you gotta get me out. I've been hearing about World War II, airplane engines and combat shoes, tiny little people crawling in the grease. But I'm signed on to a 1-year lease, but I'm not hanging around no more. I never called this home before, and oh, Virginia, you gotta get me out of here. Yeah, Virginia, well, you gotta get me out. And I'm down in the left lane, keeping my hands on the wheel, getting out of Washington County and digging in my heels. Haven't played this song in a while. Well, the kids are hanging around in a broken down paper mill, but the Huron River don't act alone, and a passenger train can kill you. Well, that's Michigan Avenue for you. You know it only leads out of town. Get me out of here, well, one way or another, man, you gotta get me out. Yeah, I'm down in the left lane, keeping my hands on the wheel, getting out of Washington County and digging in my heels. And I'm down on the Beltway around Washington, D.C. I'm getting out of Washington County. 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 And I'm gonna burn down Ypsilanti. All right, I'm doing all these songs that I barely remember. It's making me sweat. I hope this is going to be good enough for you. Until we can get together in person, this is all I can do for you. If life is treating you right, that's great. I'm trying to be as available to you as I possibly can during this whole pandemic thing. I don't know if any of us really thought it would go on this long. We should have known. You know, we had 1918 to prepare us for this. And, I mean, I remember that one being a lot worse than this one. I don't know. How did you live through it? Was it all right? Did you lose anybody in 1918? Yeah? Well, I'm sorry. I hope that, we don't have a repeat. Here's to the people who are no longer with us. I'm at work right now. Can't tour, can't go out and play shows, can't really get in a room with my band, so here I am. If you look down in the description of this video, you'll see places for tips at PayPal or Venmo. It's Curtis Eller Music. And where I'm going to be putting a lot of my energy going forward is my Patreon page. I'm going to do all of my live streaming over there for a while, and I'm going to debut some brand new songs that I got working on, some demos with the band. That's Patreon/Curtis Eller, and it's kind of, you can kick in $2 a month if you want to just see what we're up to, or you can kick in more if you want to, you know, keep food on my table. You can also buy stuff. I got vinyl records, have a selection of high fidelity compact discs, all different records. If you don't have a CD player or a record player, we have illustrated lyric books designed and illustrated by Jamie Walcott, my wife. You know her. Look at the artwork on that. We got t-shirts, as always, like every band, you know. You guys have a drawer full of band shirts, I'm sure. We got these now. Keep yourself safe for the next few months. If you're watching from the UK, I understand that you're like locked down and things have gotten weird again, but I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to get through this, and we're going to get to the other side, and we're going to be able to do live music again, and I'm going to come straight over there and do my best for you. So please hang around. And I'll be laying some new tunes onto the Patreon people. Here's a song about meat. I'm a vegetarian. This is the only song I got about meat. I'm going down to the butcher man. Wash my heart in the blood of the lamb. I'll take a number at the counter and touch the hem of his apron and shake his hand. I don't want that filthy Chicago meat. I take me down to the Lansing and Essex Street. I got to get that blood all over my feet. I'm taking my heart to the butcher man. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm taking my heart to the butcher man. Oh yes I am. I'm taking my heart. Yeah. I take my baby to the butcher's shop. My knees started shaking and it just don't stop. You see that blood on the countertop? Well, I get so weak, man, I just about drop. Tell Upton Sinclair down in the jungle dark, I'm gonna shine a light on the abattoir. I love you, baby, just the way you are, but I'm saving my heart for the butcher man. Yeah, yeah. Saving my heart for the butcher man. Yes, I am. I'm saving my heart for the butcher man. Well, I got no use for that gospel mud down in the river of blood. Well, there ain't no love for the preacher man, and nobody does it like the butcher can. That's right. Because the butcher was always somebody you knew. The butcher was someone who cared about you. The butcher said, hey man, how do you do? Everybody sing amen and a hallelujah. You can send my bones to the undertaker, my long black hair to the wig maker. Tell my girl I would never forsake her, but I'm saving my heart for the butcher man. butcher man. Oh, yes I am. I'm saving my sweetheart for the butcher man. Oh yeah, for the butcher man. Oh yeah, well here come that butcher man. Alright, there we go. There's a song about meat for you. I don't know what else to do. Thanks for spending all this time with me. Since this whole situation started, you can go to my YouTube channel. In addition to signing up on my Patreon page, which is what I'm really pushing because that's a steady source of income. And I'm going to be putting a lot of exclusive stuff there. You can also sign up on my YouTube channel because, quite honestly, Facebook is getting to be a drag, right? So please come on over to YouTube, come on over to Patreon, and we'll have like a nice, friendly party there without any of the craziness and algorithms and stuff. Okay, I get asked to play this song more than pretty much any other song I've ever written. I don't like to do it too often because, you know, you don't like to wear it out, but I want to do what's right. I'm going to sing a song for you about Joe Louis. Joe Louis was a boxer. Joe Louis was an African-American boxer from my hometown, Detroit, Michigan, USA. He was notable for a lot of things, not the least of which was that he was heavyweight champion of the world back in the 30s, the 1930s. And up until that point, they really didn't let black people fight white people in the officially sanctioned rooms. Those of you who know your history and know your sports, you'll know that there was a guy named Jack Johnson who came before Joe Louis. He was also heavyweight champion of the world. And he was a proud man, a well-dressed man. He kicked the shit out of everybody stupid enough to get in the ring with him. Made the white people mad. I think we can see today that when white people don't get their way, you know, like the real white people, the whitest, they don't take it well. They throw tantrums. They try to change the rules. So that's what they did. When Jack Johnson finally aged out, they said, all right, let's go back to an all-white sport. It's a drag for everybody. And I'm sorry. But time passed. And here comes Joe Louis. Young Joe Louis. Wearing a fancy suit. Driving the speed limit. Not ruffling any feathers, you know? He could punch you in the head until you passed out. But he always had a smile for you afterwards. He didn't rub it in, you know? So they said, what harm can it do? Let him fight. of course you know what happened. Young Joe Louis kicked the shit out of everybody stupid enough to get in the ring with him for years and years. And they loved him this time. It wasn't like Jack Johnson. For some reason, Joe Louis didn't make people mad. They liked him so much that during World War II, they said, we're gonna win because Joe Louis is on our side. And you know what happened? We fucking won. Because the brown bomber was on our side. If you were a young African-American kid from Detroit or Philadelphia or Portland, Maine, Alberta, Canada, Birmingham, Alabama, or Birmingham, England. No matter where you were, Joe Louis was a hero to you, you know? Especially for the young black kids. He was like Superman, and Jesus Christ, and the President of the United States all rolled up into one. And he got to punch white people in the face. Must have felt pretty good. There used to be a Joe Louis Arena in downtown Detroit. You know, they named part of the city after him. It's not there anymore. But they do have a giant bronze statue of his fist right in the middle of town. You should go take a look sometime. Joe Louis also knocked out Hitler's favorite boxer, a man by the name of Max Schmeling. And to be fair to the Schmeling family, Max was not a Nazi. Hitler just liked him, that's all. Anyway, we got Joe Louis knocking out racism, knocking out fascism. We could sure use Joe Louis right about now to knock out racism, to knock out fascism. Because we got a lot of racism and a lot of fascism right now in America. All over the world, really. We need the brown bomber on our side. Remember, he's still with you. There was in fact, a time in history when there were more songs written about Joe Louis than any other human being alive. But sadly, this is not one of them. This is a song about the first person to ever get executed in the gas chamber in the state of North Carolina. Again, as I always say, this song's gonna make you feel good about yourself and about your neighbors and about your country. Because I heard a story. And if you know your history, you probably know this story. It comes from a Martin Luther King Jr. speech. It goes something like this. Back in 1936 in the state of North Carolina, on death row, they were making a switch from the electric chair to the gas chamber. And they wanted to find out if it was inhumane or cruel in any way. So they found a young African-American kid who had committed some infraction or other. Don't know what he did. They escorted him into the gas chamber. And they put a microphone in with him. Probably a lot like this one. And they waited to see what his last words would be. Would he call out for his mother or his father? Would he beg for clemency from the governor of the great state of North Carolina? Maybe call out for the President of the United States himself, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Maybe a higher power altogether. Well, as it turns out, perhaps unsurprisingly, this young man's last words were, "Save me, Joe Louis, save me." Here's hoping things get better after I'm gone away. If I was there with you, I would drink myself blind. But these hard times could be here all day. And Mr. Roosevelt in the White House can deliver no comfort down here. And I know that it's only a paper moon, but it's the last hope to fight back this fear. I said, save me, Joe Louis, save me. The last words that I'll ever say. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. And let the gas chamber take me away. As you know, if you've seen me before, this is a sing-along. And I don't know what you're doing there at home in London or Amsterdam or New York City or New Mexico or wherever you're watching from. I want you to sing along with me. And I promise it's going to make you feel good, and it's going to make you feel right, and it's going to make you feel whole. But you got to do it for real, man. You got to sing for all you're worth. You gotta get Joe Louis here to save us from the racism and the fascism of the modern world. So I got one more verse for you to warm up your voice. And then you're gonna join me on the chorus. And we're gonna sing the shit out of this motherfucker. So get ready. Like the echo down in the salt mines, like the tone of a funeral bell, like a blow that could take out a Jack Dempsey. I'm gonna call out when they drag me from my cell. Here we go. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. The last words that I'll ever say. A little bit louder, please. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. And let the gas chamber take me away. Even louder. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. last words that I'll ever say. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. And let the gas chamber take me away. Let's show a little respect and sing quiet. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. The last words that I'll ever say, even quieter. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. And let the gas chamber take me away, even quieter. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. The last words that I'll ever say. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. And let the gas chamber take me. Let's do it quiet, silent, because these are not white people's words. All together, one more time. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. The last words that I'll ever say. Save me, Joe Louis, save me. And let the gas chamber take me away. Joe Louis, come and save me today. All right. That's how I really feel. I need Joe Louis. You need Joe Louis. We all need someone to save us. All right. That's the show for today or tonight, depending on where you are. I got another one coming up in a few hours at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is New York City time. It's kind of my internal home, you know what I mean? Like my magnetic north is New York City. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to get my street clothes back on. Don't forget, no matter what Willard may say to you, he's no longer Mr. Banjo. That's me. I'm Mr. Banjo. Willard, he had his day. It's time to pass the baton. All right. Like I say, I've really enjoyed all the live streams and the fireside chats and the videos and all the things that I've been making. I'm going to take a little bit of time, probably, I think, off from the weekly live streams, but I'll pop up unexpectedly here and there, like a right hook, you know what I mean? It comes out of nowhere. Please join me over on YouTube. I really want to get those numbers up. Join me on Patreon. I'm hoping to get 75 people by the end of the year. That's my goal. That was my goal. Let's see if we can do it. I really love singing for you, and I cannot wait where there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So just hang tight. We're going to get through this, and we'll be able to do that in a room where I can really hear you singing with me. So thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Stop by again at 7 o'clock tonight, Eastern Time, or tell your friends. And remember, I'm Mr. Banjo. I am Mr. Banjo. I'm Willard now. How's it feel, Willard?